All across the world, alt-right political groups point to Japan as an example of an ethno-state, a country that is dedicated to preserving its racial purity and keeping foreigners out. This is simply not true. A myth able to be perpetuated because of how little we know about the island nation. Japan actually has many foreign residents, and a large amount of mixed-race people.
My full name is Daiki Joseph Renteria Yamamoto. My father is from Mexico. My mother is a Japanese native. I'm a born American and I have Japanese citizenship.
So what do you think of the term hafu?
I don't think of it as an exactly great word, but it's used for lack of a better word, but it still sounds as if though it's meant to single you out from what is mainstream Japanese.
How many hafu are there in Japan?
Definitely a whole lot more than most people expect, but I think the word hafu carries a connotation of somebody who is half non-Asian as opposed to non-Japanese. So I would like to say there are a whole lot more than people expect, but they don't realize. And just because of it doesn't always have to be a European or African background. There are a whole lot more, and there's a feeling of alienation all the same. So there's more weight to the word hafu and the identity behind it than most Japanese people, I think, realize or would wish to recognize.
How accepted do you feel in Japanese society?
Many people prefer to call me by my non-Japanese middle name because it's much more easily recognizable, although I prefer to stick to a Japanese identity as often as possible in a Japanese environment. But it's usually, it stands out more, and whether or not you want to stand out or not is kind of a hard decision to make. I would say that it's a very typical issue, but the idea of belonging and identity is a lot harder in Japan because there are very few examples to look to. There are very few examples and mentors to rely on in a predominantly Japanese environment, and not just peers but other people such as superiors and teachers sometimes don't always have the same sort of skills or experience to guide one in such a situation.
The Japan Times estimates that by 2039, just under 10% of Japan will have mixed-race heritage. This is on top of the over 2 million foreign residents in Japan currently, not to mention the native and distinctive peoples of Hokkaido and Okinawa. Japan, just like any successful modern nation, is not homogeneous and benefits from its diversity.